Good evening, everybody. Good evening again. This is Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything. I'm excited to have you all tune in on this lovely Thursday. Thursday, today's Wednesday. Wednesday evening. I'm already in Thursday. As we sit here, we talk about the amazingness about creating your own bio and the importance of telling your story. So I have an amazing guest I'm going to introduce in a few minutes, Tihanna Louise, who's here to join us today so we can have this conversation around creating your perfect bio or what that looks like. So just a little bit about me so people know who I am. I'm Dr. Glow. I am homeborn from Mount Vernon, New York, money earning Mount Vernon, the best place in the world. Well, especially in New York, Mount Vernon. Okay. So what I've done here is I've grown up in this community, which is only 4.5 square miles. It's a real small, tight-knit community who produces amazing athletes, great entrepreneurs, and really famous people. So I'm from a very famous place, which makes me very famous, as I shall say. And I own the owner of Black Girl Everything, where I promote and support Black women-owned businesses. Okay, I'm also the CEO and founder of the Daisy Dream Project, which is my nonprofit that works with children with diagnosed disabilities. And then I do have a few other contracts with some other organizations. So the base of me is really about educating folks and getting them to their next level, wherever that might be, through children with special needs or people of the trans experience with the LGBTQ community, or even adults with adult education. Because I'm also a consultant and I used to do a lot of tutoring. Don't really do that anymore, but I do a lot of other cool things. So that's definitely me. In the best interest of time, I would love to actually move forward with you all. So, and I'm also a person of transparency. I had a root canal all of 3 hours ago. Okay. So if I'm not speaking a lot, don't mind me. But I am here and I'm present and I'm trying to be as engaging as possible. But I love being transparent with my community, letting you all know I'm still here, even though my mouth is like boop, 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 boop. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. And we're going to start off with getting to know our host. She's going to introduce herself. And then I want to do a little bit of a roundtable of people who actually are in Zoom. They kind of come on and introduce your name, where you're from, and especially if you're a business owner, because we want to make sure this workshop is geared towards who we have in the space, not necessarily exactly what we want to talk about for ourselves. So I'm going to start off with our host, Tihanna Louise. She can come on and introduce herself first.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tihanna Louise, and I am an executive coach and a communications consultant. That means I often function like a public speaking trainer. But at the core of my business, what I really do is help professionals, particularly women. I love working with women, and I help them to elevate their speaking skills so that they can communicate with confidence and shine when they present in their businesses or at work. I have over 15 plus years experience as a broadcast news reporter, a PR and marketing executive, and almost 10 years in my own business as an entrepreneur. I bring a really unique approach to marketing, communication, public speaking, and I've spent a lot of time breaking it down into actionable frameworks and skills that are easy to learn and can be quickly implemented. My unique approach is based on a philosophy that speaking is an inside out job, meaning that you have to first change your thinking, change your speaking. I also believe that communication is the bridge that can either build relationships or quickly burn them down. And that comes from working for a very long time in corporate America. So I am absolutely thrilled to be here and share some insights on how to transform your bio, which, if we are to be honest, is usually your calling card and the first impression that people who want to work with you will have.
Tihanna, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very excited to work with you this evening through this workshop. So why don't we go ahead and just pop it around a little bit. Let me see some people that I know that's in the room. Let's start off with Janine from Lotus Embers. Janine from Lotus Embers.
Didn't know I was speaking, Dr. Glow.
Introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about your brand.
So I'm Janine Hyman, owner of Lotus Embers LLC. I started out with candles initially and have grown to expand to include other ways to scent your home through room sprays, room diffusers, even to scent outside of your home with car diffusers. So I expanded to become more of a home fragrance boutique versus being a candle boutique.
Perfect. Thank you, Janine. All right, let's go over to Nikki Williams.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Nikki. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
I'm Nikki Nicole Williams. I'm a therapist here in Georgia, and I work with adults, just typical mental health issues, depression, anxiety. I do that full time, depending on how many clients I have. I'm also a non-practicing, but will soon be practicing coach. I was certified, I have my certification in life coaching. I had it for many years, never did anything with it. And so, yeah, that's that. So that's me, coach and
Okay.
therapist.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Donna, I see you. Introduce yourself. Yes, I put you on the spot. Let's go.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Radana. I am the owner of Lashes by Sashi. Also, I sell lashes, beauty products, and lip gloss. And that's pretty much what my brand is about at this
Okay.
moment.
And you're just super cool too, right?
Yes.
All right. All right. Lulu from Brooklyn. Let's go, Lulu.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lulu Batista. I am the owner and CEO of LuluTraybox.com, which is for sexual wellness everything. I specialize in bringing foreplay back to life. There's nothing that we can't discuss when it comes to sexual wellness. So, not to have a long spiel, but that's it in general. And also, I'm a licensed massage therapist, so we blend those together as much as we can all the time. Nice to meet everybody.
Yes, Lulu. Thank you. Karita.
Hi, everyone. I am Karita Carrington. I am a nurse practitioner. I work in the field of sexual health. I am in the process of starting my own business, well, co-founding a business with a coworker. So, yeah, that's me.
And what is that business?
That business is called Back to the Basics. And pretty much is a faith-based organization, sexual health organization to bringing awareness to sexual health and changing the way we look at sexual health.
Okay. So it looks like Lulu and Karita need to have a conversation outside the space. Good job, everybody. All right. So we have Kenya with I Matter Because. Kenya, are you able to tap in?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kenya Beckford. I have 20 years experience, over 20 years in the social work, social services field. My brand is I Matter Because LLC. I work with the homeless population, and that is where the name actually stemmed from because a lot of our population feel as though they're not enough and they don't matter and they are undeserving. And so with that, as of right now, we're doing consulting and providing case management services and training.
Perfect. That's great. Shell Niece.
Good evening. My name is Shonice Allen. I'm currently a case manager working with the homeless population, and I also do PCA work on the side. So I eventually want to become a gerontology social worker, and in doing so, I want to open up my own nonprofit organization.
Oh, not I want to. So you're going to start your own nonprofit working with
Yes,
seniors?
ma'am.
That is
Yes,
so
ma'am.
exciting. Where are you from?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Oh, wow. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sharon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Omilayo.
Mhm.
I am in the work of creating my own business, which is a career agency. I was a talent acquisition professional for 4 years. So I would like to start my own business where I am helping people to connect themselves with their dream job, resume and everything. And also would like to work with companies to contract with them to help them find those perfect matches for those positions.
And why
That's
would you,
great.
may I ask quickly, why do you want to start a business like that?
I I know how it is to be on both sides. Being a talent acquisition, noticed that there was a lot of disconnect. So I started with coaching the applicants, asking them what they really want, if this job is going to work for them. Which I wish someone did that to me. I would have never went into a lot of jobs. So I started to really enjoy doing that. So even though they were not picking us, but I also helped them get clear about what they want to do moving forward.
Got it.
That sounds exciting.
Thank you.
All right, Janelle.
Hello, sorry, I just got on. Are we just introducing ourselves?
Yes, Janelle, you're going to say your name, Janelle, and where you're from. If you happen to own a business, tell everybody why you're so amazing.
And Janelle, I'm so excited to see you.
Hi. Hi, sorry, I couldn't find a link and I'm at work. Okay, so my name is Janelle Muhammad. My company is called Destination Own. It's an international real estate and travel company. What I do is I help people find property in different parts of the world. And I do that by offering tours or concierge service, or just basically setting them up with the people that they need to know on the other side of the world, so that they can, broker their real estate deals.
And Janelle, out of every business that you could have started in the world, why did you choose to start this one? What really drives you to do this for people?
This one is pulling me. I don't know any other way to say it. I can't shake it. I've tried to give up on it. I continually try to give up on it when it gets too much, but I always come back. I love travel. I love real estate. And it's like the vision is so big, it's beyond me. And I struggle to keep up with just the thought of it, which makes it difficult for me. So yeah, I feel like I'm just hanging on sometimes. And that's the truth of it.
So what I'm hearing is the business you run is like a higher calling.
Yes. Yes, I would say it's a higher calling, definitely.
And for those of you who were on my public speaking class on Tuesday, catch that analogy.
That is dope. That is dope. So thank you all for introducing yourself and joining us for this lovely evening as we go through this workshop. So I want to start with the real reason why I decided I wanted to do this workshop is because I don't no longer like my bio. Right? I was at an event being honored a couple of weeks ago and they started reading my bio and I was just like, does this really tell the story of who I am? Does this really dig into all the aspects of Dr. Glow about what I create out here in the world? Does it really share my story? And then I started realizing that it really didn't. So I did a thing where I leaned into my education very heavily. Right? I can trust my education. I'm a doctor of education. I have all these degrees from all these different schools. It's all rah, 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 rah. It sounds great, right? We all know that I'm educated. Once you say my name is Dr. Glow, obviously I have an education. So what was happening is I was spending so much time sharing about that I wasn't even necessarily sharing about all the great things that I do. So what happens is when people meet me, they find out when they start talking to me through conversation, they realize like, wait, you do that too? And you do this and you do that and you do this? I'm like, yeah. I do a lot of different things. So I have a great ability to be able to multitask and run multiple businesses around different areas at one time and then all be successful because I'm able to feed into building out team, right? One of my biggest parts about me is that as a leader is that I don't actually do all of anything for myself. Everything I build around me has team involved. So there's teams in every aspect of every single business that I have or that I operate or that I manage or whomever I work for. Every single one, it all relies heavily on who the team physically is. So with Black Girl Everything, where I promote and support Black women-owned businesses, I have a social media manager. I have an event management team who do a lot of the back end work for me. I pretty much just create ideas in my head, spit them out, and then let people do the work, right? With the Century Gym that I'm opening up, which is my newest adventure. So I'm so excited about this Century Gym and Parent Engagement Center that I'm opening. right? That already had people in line who are going to be running the space. I probably will hardly go to the space maybe once or twice a week. So it's not something the business is going to run 7 days a week, but will I be there 7 days a week? No, because from the beginning, before I even open the doors, I'm building out team to be able to manage and operate it. Okay. And then there's the Collin Allen Child Development Center where I manage 28 people and I have 65 families. I have a team that runs that. And then Destination Tomorrow, where I have offices in New York, DC, and Atlanta, that I do go to all three of those offices monthly at this point. But even with that, I have teams that operate within that. So for me, it was just really for me to understand with my bio that it's not touching on the abilities that I have, that I live through my framework of brand, right? From building out significant plans, I lean into my resiliency. I tap into anything and everything as an asset. I utilize my network and I'm diligent about getting work done, right? Look for the book is coming. I'm writing it right now. It's going to be here soon, everybody. But brand is real. I really rely on what I lean into heavily to make sure that I'm able to do all the things that I've ever dreamed of, because dreaming big is my mission. Dreaming big is all that I do. And there's nothing and no one can ever tell me that I can't do everything, because I am Black Girl Everything. I live behind my brand. So with that, I wanted to go right into Tihanna's presentation. She's going to be giving us a presentation around creating the perfect story. And the reason why I asked her to join me is because she's phenomenal, y'all. I fell in love with her when she opened her mouth over the first 90 seconds. I was like, oh my God, there she goes. I got to work with her. I have to find a reason to work with her. And then as soon as I realized I did not like my bio, who did I think about? Tihanna. She's one of the first people I called when I decided I'm going to create this whole workshop, just because I don't like my bio, so I know somebody doesn't like theirs. So we're going to let Tihanna go ahead and share her presentation with us and rock and roll.
All right, thank you, Dr. Glow. And what I will say to that beautiful handoff to me is that the feeling is very, very mutual. Writing bios and helping people write books and different things is something that I used to do early on in my coaching and consulting business. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's a very important topic, and only somebody as special as Dr. Glow could bring me out to do this and share this with you today. So what we're really talking about is taking your bio from basic to brilliant. I'm sure all of you have some version of a bio that you're using right now. And by a show of hands or thumbs up, how many of you are actually like 100% satisfied with your bio? When you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I love it. No? No? Okay, good. All right. Well, we've already talked about who I am, but here's what I want to tell you. Dr. Glow has been gracious enough to give me 15 minutes with you. And I plan to use those 15 minutes not to talk at you about, the purpose of a bio and what it is and yeah. I think you get that. I hope you get that. I'm pretty sure you get that. My job today is to give you some real-time, heavy-hitting content that you can leave with and start refining your own bio or handing it off to a copywriter to make it sing. But I do want to talk about why this matters, just to make sure we're all on the same page. So in the world we live in today, when people hear about you, when they see you online, the first thing they do is what? Google you, go to your website. And what's the first thing they do when they get there? They go to the About Me page, which is where your bio should live. Anytime you're on a podcast, anytime you speak at a conference, they read your bio, and often they ask you to provide a bio. It's not something that they do for you. So your bio really sets the tone, right? It's the first point of contact with all of the key stakeholders that you will run into in your work, in your business. And it should be your narrative. It should be your narrative that's packaged in a nice, neat, and compelling way that actually invites the person who is reading it or listening to it to know more about you. So if you'll notice, during the introductions, I was asking more questions because most of you were doing the number one mistake we actually make when writing our bios. Starting off with our names, our titles, right? Our credentials, but not really mentioning anything around our passions and what led us to starting a business like this and why we've stayed in it despite the challenges, and who we help and how we help them. Like, what's the benefit? What do we bring? Okay, so we really have to flip the script on this. Instead of listing achievements, my job is to help you shift your thinking around bios today so that you automatically, when someone asks you, what do you do? Or when you put something on paper about you, it focuses on your journey. And by your journey, I mean the why behind what you do. It's about your motivation. It's about the challenges you've overcome. And it's really about the unique perspective that you bring. There might be 1,000 people on the planet who sell lashes and who teach sex health education, but there's only one of you who does it in the way that you do it. And that's really what your bio should highlight. So in my full day trainings, I teach an entire framework around this. But tonight, I only have you for 15 minutes. So I'm going to give you some tips and tools, as well as a framework that will put you well on your way to crafting a brilliant bio. And at the end, I'm gonna have a download with a fill-in worksheet, step-by-step, that will help you craft a bio in the way that I'm gonna show you today. But before I teach you the framework, let me offer some tips and some guidance around how you should be thinking about this. So I already said, focusing on your journey, starting with your why. So you start your bio with the heartbeat of your story, the why you do what you do. This is not about your profession. It's not about your title. It's really more about why you chose to do this in the first place. What motivated you? Was there a moment of inspiration or a challenge that really propelled you forward? It's not about what you do. I can't say it enough. It's about why you do it and what drives you every day to show up and keep doing it. When you share this, it adds depth. It connects you on a personal level to your audience. The other thing you want to start thinking about is, well, how are you solving problems for your customer or your client? And particularly, what problems are you solving? So you want to create space in your bio to highlight all of the real world issues that you address. In your bio, you should be describing those problems you solve, going beyond the tasks and the titles. What's the impact that the work you do has? How do you make life easier or better for your clients or your customers? This is the part of the bio that will show your impact. And it resonates a lot more than any title of doctor or manager or executive ever could. The next thing you want to think about, who are you helping? Your bio should really highlight who you help. And to do that, you have to understand a few things. You have to understand the needs of your client. You have to understand the dreams they have for themselves. And the reason why it's important to understand that is because that's what's going to help you tailor your bio message directly to them. This is what's going to help you speak directly to them. The reason why you're on a podcast, the reason why you're speaking, the reason why you're, going to the conference or whatever it is because you're trying to connect with a specific person. And so you want to talk to them and you want to show them, hey, I know your challenges and I know how to solve them. This is a crucial connection that will turn a generic bio into a personal conversation starter, right? It gets buy-in from the moment you step out or introduced or when people go to your website. That's what keeps them there. And this is really what I was trying to get at when I was asking questions of you in your introduction. What sets you apart? What's your unique approach? Okay, cool. I know what you do, but Why, what makes it special because you do it? Why should I choose you? Maybe it's your method, maybe it's your philosophy, your beliefs, maybe even it's your backstory. This is the chance that you have to really shine, to humbly brag on yourself, to celebrate yourself and your unique contributions that you bring to your specific field. A lot of people don't do this enough in their bio. In fact, that's something Dr. Glow and I were talking about earlier this week. The other thing you want to remember is that a brilliant bio is adaptable. It includes all of these things, but you can tailor it to fit different platforms, whether it's LinkedIn or a conference brochure or a podcast introduction. You want to have different versions, right? For me personally, I have a short version, which is 100 words or less. I have a medium-sized version, which is about 150, 200 words. And then I have a full-length bio that goes a lot deeper into my story. That's about 350 words. Each version might emphasize a different aspect of your story, depending on the audience. So for instance, when I'm talking to tech entrepreneurs, I share a different bio with them that I shared with Dr. Glow for this event, because this event specifically speaks to a certain element of my backstory. Okay, so what does taking these tips and translating them into actual words look like, right? I've given you some theory, but how do we actually put this on the court in real time with real words? Okay, so as I said, there are some very unique, specific, trademarked frameworks that I share in my full day storytelling and messaging trainings. We don't have time to go into that today, but what I can share with you is an element of the larger framework that I teach that will immediately help you spruce up the bio that you have right now. And so this framework is called verbal highlights. Your bio should be full of verbal highlights. Matter of fact, when you get off this call today, I want you to go and look for verbal highlights in the bio that you've been using right now. So what is a verbal highlight? It's basically your story in one sentence. It's concise. It's a memorable phrase that encapsulates key aspects of your story, right? It might capture your unique point of view, but it should read like a headline for your narrative, your professional narrative. And again, it should be short, impactful, and full of very vivid language. How do you create one? Well, there are three things that you have to do. Number one, you got to start with your core message. The way that you do that is by identifying the crucial aspects of your story. So those things that I was telling you earlier, just a few minutes ago, that you need to think about, brainstorm those. This is going to help you get to your core message. Using language that resonates, strong, evocative words that actually paint a picture or evoke some kind of emotional response, right? So emotional language. And then you always have to make it relatable. So you have to ensure that it resonates with your audience, keep it succinct, and again, make sure it's something that you can easily share in one sentence. And the test for that is, can I say this in one breath? Okay, so I'm gonna pause right there and just check in. Everybody tracking with me, give me a thumbs up if you are tracking with me. Are you finding this helpful thus far? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, good. So let's see what it looks like in real time. If I had more time with you, I would create some bios in real time here. But since we don't have time, I put together some examples of what a bio full of verbal highlights should sound like. So say you are a sustainability consultant, right? Instead of saying, I have 10 years of experience in environmental consulting, which is how most of you introduced yourself today, You would rather say something like, I help businesses reduce their environmental impact and save money. This is a passion driven from my childhood that was spent in the very lush green forests of the Pacific Northwest. And that's where I really learned the value of our natural resources. So I just said it how you might say it in real life, right? If you were on stage or something, but you can see how it's written. It's pretty much the same thing. Do you see the difference? Give me a thumbs up if you see the difference between the first version and the second version. The second version invites engagement. It shares a key element of his full story. And it verbally highlights both his expertise and his passion, right? We feel like when you read that, you should feel like, oh, okay, I kind of know something about this guy, in addition to what he does, right? I know a little bit more about why he does it. Here's another example. Samantha Lee is a digital strategist who is passionate about elevating small businesses in the digital world. Hailing from a family of small business owners, she turns clicks into customers by making your business digitally visible and viable. The strategies she crafts not only increase visibility, but ensure engagement, turning passive viewers into active customers. So this bio, which is a shorter version of Samantha's full bio, tells you who she is. It shares an inspiring element of her background. It tells you what she does. It tells you how she does it. And it tells you how it benefits the people she serves. So these examples show exactly how you should be structuring your bio to do three things: inform, engage, and inspire. And each of the verbal highlights acts as a powerful tool to make your story memorable, right? You will remember that the guy grew up in the Pacific Northwest in those lush green forests. You'll remember that Samantha, she turns clicks into customers by making your business digitally visible and viable, right? And each of these verbal highlights capture the 4 tips that I shared. Focus on your journey, tell how you solve problems, highlight your audience, and share what sets you apart. So as I wrap this up, I want to challenge you today to leave here and rethink your bios and actually attempt to rewrite them. Don't just let this be another workshop you showed up to and got some good information that you never put into action. So what I'm asking you to do is reflect on your personal story, your core philosophy, your unique methodology, and any place in your work where you believe you stand out. And when you're writing it or you're sharing what you want written with a copywriter, think about your why, not your what, your why, the problems you solve, who you help, how you do it differently, and most importantly, why you do it, right? So if you do that, you will write a bio that not only tells, but actually sells your story in a way that no list of achievements ever will. And I stand before you today as someone who has a bio that has sold me into rooms before I even got there. People have hired me literally because they read my bio on my website. Okay, so to support you in this journey, I want to give you the link to the fill in the blank document that will help you write your bio exactly how I showed you today. See, I'm not leaving y'all hanging. All right, so if you click that link, you can go there, you can make a copy for yourself and fill it in. The last thing that I want to say is this. I have a special opportunity for each of you because tonight we covered some essential elements, and I know I moved pretty quickly, but nothing will ever be personalized feedback, direct coaching around your unique story, your business. And so I'm excited to offer you an opportunity to work with me one-to-one I have some limited spots that I've made available just for Dr. Glow's community. And this session, if you choose to work with me, we will work together to help you personally answer all of those questions that I posed to you today. I will show you specifically how to refine your bio and weave in your unique story as it relates to your business. And if you don't have a bio, I will help you build one from the ground up. Now, here's where it gets even better. So typically, to work with me for 1 hour, that is usually $500. That's where I'm at. But because I love Dr. Glow so much and because I respect the work she does and the community that she built, I want to make it very easy for everyone to get some personalized coaching from me. So I've done something that my team was like, girl, you crazy. But I was like, no, I'm full of love. I've discounted my regular rate by like 80%. So if you want to work with me for 1 hour, one session, it's $99. Trust me, it will be full of value. You will walk away very clear. And it's just for people who showed up to this event tonight. It's good for 24 hours. If you are feeling good about your bio after you heard the presentation tonight and you go through the worksheet, no problem. You can still take advantage of this offer. You can come into the session. You can work on other aspects of your storytelling or any other area of public speaking and communication that you want to get better at in your business. I'm offering this as a chance for you to not only craft a bio that stands out, but to also enhance your ability to communicate and present yourself in a confident way in every professional environment that you find yourself in. So if you want to take advantage of this special, I'm going to put another link in the chat. And with that, I will say, let me see. Oh, there it goes. I got it. With that, I will say, let's definitely connect, right? There are all the ways that you can connect with me. I'm on every single social media platform. My website is there. And if you scan this QR code, that will take you to a place where you can give me some feedback. I'd love to hear whether or not this was helpful for you. Your feedback helps me to keep improving and refining my sessions and what I share. And you already have the link to download that worksheet, and that is my gift to you. So screenshot this. And the only other thing I can say is thank you. Thank you, Dr. Glow. I hope this has been helpful for your community, and I will stick around to answer any other questions.
Tihanna, thank you so much. It's helpful for my community. It was helpful to me. I was sitting over here in my life. I was like, okay, so I got to change this and write this way and make sure I'm touching on this and touching on that. Thank you so much for sharing space with me this evening and all the people who came out to share space with you as well. This was definitely influential in this help. And your 80% off discount is amazing. I'm about to click that link as soon as we're done for myself because I need that time because I already know I need a new bio. Clearly, I do. So I'm excited to work with you to work on my story. So do we have any questions of anybody in the space? Any questions? This is your time. Take advantage, y'all. Ask a question.
Is there an expiration on the offer?
It's good for the next 24 hours. But
Okay.
you know I got you, boo. See, that's what I told my team. They were like, you're crazy for doing this. I'm like, no, I'm just full of love. No, trust me, I get it. I'm a single mom of 4 children. If anybody really wants to take advantage of this offer, my request is that you send me an email and say, hey, I want to do it, but here's when I can do it. And I will keep it open for you. And I'm putting my email in the chat.
Janelle?
Yes, thank you. Thank you both. My question is, I know you said once you get the framework of the bio, send it to a copywriter. If you don't have a copywriter, can you use ChatGPT?
Oh, okay.
Or do you?
let me be
Okay.
clear about that. I was saying, so I know that some people are like, you know what, there's no way I'm writing this. I'm just going to hand it off to a copywriter. So I was saying it doesn't matter if you're writing it or if you're handing it off to a copywriter. The upfront work that you want to do is, you know, brainstorming all of those things that I shared, focusing on your journey, how you solve problems, like all of that. And if you are going to use Chat GPT, and I am a Chat GPT fan, I suggest that in your request that you make to Chat GPT, you put all of your notes of what you brainstormed and you share the formula that I've shared in that worksheet and tell Chat GPT, this is how I want you to write it, right? And then of course with Chat GPT, please go back through, read it, and put it in your own words of like how you would say it.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
think that's a good one because I think sometimes people get so they don't realize that they put that in there sometimes, and it's not really coming off as you. So you want to make it more relatable so people actually hear your story and hear your voice through the writing, even through ChatGPT. Because I use it all the time, especially with my content posts. I get a 30 posts in like 2 seconds by utilizing it. But I do go through and edit them and say, okay, does that really sound like me? No, let me change a couple of words, drop a few amazings, do terrifics in there, and then it sounds like me all of a sudden. Right. So it's really simple to do.
The
Any other
danger with,
questions?
I was just going to say the danger with Chat GPT is, you know, people don't realize, and it's no diss, like we talk just layman's terms. A lot of the times we don't use a lot of the words that, you know, like one of the words Chat GPT uses all the time is foster. I don't say
Yeah.
foster in my everyday language. I don't even
Neither
write
do I.
the word foster. I don't use it in my written language.
You're gonna make me think about if I use that word or not. I don't think I do either.
No.
No, no. Any other questions?
This is the time. I'm here. I'm here. This is the time. Well, I'd love if people don't have questions. I'd love to hear what people are taking away.
Again.
Oh, glad you know.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was like, oh, my hand's already up. What I'm taking away is the reframe of everything. It's amazing. It's like the same thing, just reframed, different perspective of that same thing. And that it makes all the difference, especially with the first example that you shared. It's like, oh, okay, it sounds good. But then when you shared the, I guess, corrected version, it sounded so much better. And it did say basically the same thing. It was just looking at it from a different way. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
Thank
why I
you.
always say, in order, you are most welcome to change your speaking. You first have to change your thinking. Until this changes, this can't change.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part for me too, but especially also about showing your impact. I know that a lot of work I do is really impactful and finding the words to make sure I'm getting that part of the story across. Because the big deal when I sit here and say that I'm opening a sensory driven city in Mount Vernon, New York, because 1 in 4 children currently in our community being diagnosed with autism. Right? It's a different way of saying it seems and appears to be more powerful, right? So yeah, I think that's one of the most important parts that I'm going to get, how to make sure I'm showing the impact through my bio to make it more engaging and relatable to folks.
Yeah.
I think I would say that's what I got out of it too, because it's really being able to tell your story in a more concise way. So and hit on the key points. Sometimes we either get too wordy or we don't share enough or the right things in the right order. So
yeah,
it was very helpful.
Definitely.
Another thing I love about it is for newer businesses or maybe businesses that don't really feel like they're where they should be. It doesn't focus on that aspect of it. It focuses on your why, which is really important. You know, I might not be the best real estate agent. I might not repeat. Okay, I might not have the most homes sold, but the way that I do my business is so different than so many people. And it does make me interesting and it makes me an asset. But if I'm so worried about, I only sold 5 homes, I didn't sell 50, you know, it 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 really, when I cringe at my bio usually, because I don't feel like I'm so accomplished. But when you look at it from what I have actually done, a lot of realtors have not scratched the surface of what I'm creating. So it makes me feel like, it makes me feel better about my situation and where I am in my business.
Yeah, really communicating your why is super important. I know when I first started my business, I was intimidated to go and pitch myself to corporations for 5 and 6 figure contracts because I wasn't Lisa Nichols, I wasn't Eric Thomas or, whoever. But what I did share was the why I chose to leave a successful career in broadcast news and take a leap and start my own business. And that's because I believe 100% that corporate workspaces should be places that people actually enjoy showing up to do the work they love to do, and communication from an authentic place, right? If we all can authentically be ourselves and authentically communicate, then we can create a space that actually serves that vision. And so I can't tell you how many times I've gone in and really pitched that, and people were like, yeah, we agree. And I didn't have to have all the credentials and whatnot, but I've still been able to land contract, sharing my why, my purpose, why I do what I do, and how I do it differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's amazing. And I think sometimes even with a lot of businesses that work with Black Girl Everything, a lot of our conversations it focuses around that when I'm just getting starting up and what is going to be my story and how I'm going to indicate that to the world, right? Because everybody has this thing about being humble and this humility around them to the point where they don't share out, especially women of color. We have this thing where we feel as if we can't stand up here because we're so busy trying to pull everybody with us all the time that we don't even share our greatness, right? We don't even share out how wonderful we are, what we know we can do, or how positive our products are, or what impact I know I can create within your world. And I think that's a big part about this bio and how you're looking at it about showing that impact, going back to the impact that you know you're going to create is so powerful because people relate to that. And it just really just hits them right on the head, like, okay, I get it. And then we have that idea that people feel that we're competing with somebody all the time. There's no such thing as competition. That's something we make up in our head. If we sit here, we're focusing more so on collaboration and connecting with each other. That's how we can go further. Like I'm a coach, Tihanna's a coach. We have 2 different lanes of things that we do in 2 different ways, but ultimately our goal is the same, is to ensure that people are motivated and growing in a different direction, right? And I think that's an important part that everybody needs to learn within these spaces, and the importance of collaboration and working together is because you have moments like this, right? Where her and I are able to come in one room and exist and learn from each other at the same time. So again, Tihanna, I wanted to tell you thank you for coming out this evening and sharing this space with us. Thanks for sharing all your information, that amazing discount. Make sure everybody gets access to it. If anybody's interested in continuing working with Black Girl Everything, please, we have a VIP collective membership. I do workshops like this monthly for my VIP collective members. A few of them are actually in the room today. They pay a membership fee for the year and they get workshop with amazing people like Tihanna. Once a month, I have these workshops. On top of, they get access to me on a consistent basis because they call and text me all the time. Trust me, I'm very accessible to my team of folks that I work with. And then for those of you who don't know, my most favorite event that I host is my 3-day women's retreat, which is in October. It's 3 days of amazingness. We have workshops like this that we hold, as well as wellness and great food and liquor sponsors and good times and big fun. So that's October. Yes, I said October. It's October 11th through the 13th this year. It's in Monticello, New York. So yes, I would love for you all to join me for that as well for the retreat. Please make sure you subscribe to my emails. You all get emails from me. Please subscribe so you know what's going on with Black Girl Everything. We have another event coming up on May the 11th, Black Women Music Festival right here in Mount Vernon, which is also going to be a big fun. Those of you who are business owners and vendors are looking to vend events, I also have virtual vending opportunities. My next one is on April the 27th as well. If you want to come on to actually promote your brand and get access to my community and share what you have to offer. So Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. This is Dr. Glow with Black Girl Everything, and this has been amazing. And if anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm going to give you back your evening. Anybody else? No? All right, perfect. Thank you for everybody who's been tuning in on the Facebook side. And those, please make sure you go and follow me on YouTube at Black Girl Everything. You will be able to come back to this video and you'll actually be able to find over 200 other videos that I've created over since 2020, which mostly focus on Black women-owned businesses through many expos. I do those interviews as well on my YouTube channel. So everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.